ACIM. Okay, beautiful. So we did Miracle Roulette. This is A Course in Miracles, original edition. And we did Miracle Roulette, and we came with what was chosen for us by Spirit was chapter 18 in the original edition, section 7, thank you, and it's called Dreams and the Body. All right, now, if you have the edited version, which is the blue version, Eve, what's the name of that section?
Beyond the Body.
Beyond the Body. And is it Eve or Eva?
Eve.
Eve, okay. All right, wonderful. So if you're in the edited version, the blue cover version, it's Beyond the Body. If you're in the original edition, it is Dreams and the Body. All right, so let's see what Spirit's message is for us tonight. Now, whatever you hear it's saying tonight, remember that the whole purpose of whatever we do in this class is to hear what it's saying and then to apply it to wherever there's a lack of peace in our experience. That's the purpose of this class. Hear what it's saying and apply it. If for whatever reason you don't see a way to apply it to whatever area you are experiencing conflict in, don't hesitate to raise your hand and go, well, how do you apply it to that? So the whole purpose of this is for it to be practical and useful, okay? So it says, there is nothing outside you, and that is what you must ultimately learn. There is nothing outside of me. Why is it that this is what we must ultimately learn? Because learning that there's nothing outside of you is the realization that the kingdom of heaven, which is reality, is restored to you. You want to realize that heaven, the real world, is restored to you? You want to have that experience where life is heaven, where the world is heaven. You experience the real world? Here's how you do it. You realize there's nothing outside of me. Nothing. Whatever I see, that's inside me. Do I see that? That's not outside me. I see that. That's inside me. That's in my mind. That's in my mind. That's in me. That's a part of me. Whatever I'm looking at, that's how you get to the real world. And notice how it doesn't say get to the real world. It says that's how the real world or heaven is restored to you. All I have to do is go, this is not outside me, that's not outside me, that's not outside me, that's part of me, that's not outside me, that's in my mind, and the real world, heaven, is restored to me. Okay, I like that. Then it says, why is that? That's because the kingdom of heaven, that's reality, that's heaven, that's the real world, that was created. God created only heaven. God created only the real world. And God did not depart from heaven or the real world. That means God did not leave heaven, the real world, separate from himself. God created only heaven, only the real world, the loving world, the happy world, the free world. God created only that, and he did not do what? He didn't leave it. Okay? So, heaven, the real world, God is still there. Then it says, just in case you're wondering what the real world, the kingdom of heaven, reality, or heaven is, this is what it is. It is the dwelling place of you. It's your home. Interesting how in our meditation there's a lot of imagery about home, your Creator's house. The reality and heaven is where you dwell. You who never left your loving Creator, you who do not dwell apart from your loving Creator. That's what heaven is. That's what reality is. That's what the real world is. It's where you live. It's where you dwell. It's where you are. Even right now. That's where you live. That's your home. Where's my home? Heaven. Where do I dwell? Even right now? The real world. Where do I live? With God. Where God lives. Where God is. Which is heaven. And the Course in Miracles says that heaven is a state of mind of completion and abundance. That's what heaven is. That's what the real world is. And it's reminding us, you know, heaven, you know, when you talk about heaven, when we talk about the real world, the kingdom of heaven, we all talk about that. Well, that's where you live. That's your home. Oh. You know how sometimes you notice a feeling of nostalgia for your childhood or someplace in your past? You ever noticed that old feeling of nostalgia that we all have, where we kind of long for something in our past, but we're not sure what? Of course, the Miracle says that that's your longing for home. That's your longing for heaven, where you came from, and by the way, still live. Of course, the Miracle says, you are at home in God, asleep, dreaming of exile. I'm in heaven right now, according to the Course, asleep, dreaming of a place where I seem to be separate and can lose and can die and can be hurt. That's me. I'm home sleeping in heaven, drooling, dreaming that I could be hurt, that I could die, that I could lose whom I love. Wow. Oh, good to know. Good to know where I'm really at. The ultimate staycation. You already live in heaven, you know. Instead of trying to find an expensive plane ticket to go somewhere, you could just wake up to the heaven that you are in right now. There's a novel idea. You can either get there through truth, realizing that there's nothing outside of you, or you can get there through forgiveness, or you can get there through prayer and meditation. There's lots of ways to wake up to the heaven that you live in right now. But that's the whole thing, to wake up to where you're already at. Nice. Okay. Then it says, heaven is not a place, nor a condition. Good. What is heaven? Heaven is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge, which means certainty, that there's nothing else besides this perfect oneness. That means nothing outside this oneness, and that also means nothing else within this oneness. I love that definition of heaven, home. Heaven is my home, is where I dwell with God, and it's not a place or a condition, it's a state of an awareness. It's an awareness of what? Perfect oneness, complete oneness, one love, one life, one truth, one creator, one self. That's what heaven is. An awareness. What kind of awareness? It's an awareness of perfect oneness. Nothing outside that oneness. Nothing outside that oneness. Wow. That's what I've been meditating a lot on these days. And you'll see it a lot in the meditations that I lead here in class, where I will have us just meditate upon one love, one life, one truth, one self, one love, one perfect oneness, and nothing outside of that. Now, if you have an awareness of that, then here's what you're going to experience. Heaven. Not bad, eh? Not bad. No, so you didn't have to do anything to get to heaven. You didn't have to figure out how to be a better person. You didn't have to give anything up. You didn't have to sacrifice anything. You didn't have to acknowledge your sinfulness. You didn't have to obey anything. You didn't have to change anything. You didn't have to go anywhere. all you had to do was tune into, choose an awareness of perfect oneness. Wow. What do you think of that? Does that sound like a good thing to meditate upon? Okay, so if you right now are in conflict, and you don't think you're in heaven, you think you're in conflict, you think you're in pain, then it means you think you're not in heaven, you're not aware of the heaven you're in that's all around you. And if you want to get out of that conflict, that pain, and go to heaven, to a state of mind of perfect peace, then what you would do is, instead of focusing on your problem, instead of projecting your problem, instead of trying to figure out your problem and how to fix your problem, according to this, you could go to heaven, state of perfect peace and joy, by remembering something else besides your problem. I have this problem. My bank account is at zero today. Okay. I have this medical condition. I got this relationship issue. I have this problem and that problem and this problem. Okay. Now I could sit here and try to use my brain power to figure it out, analyze it, project it, or I could take a few moments and remember perfect oneness. Remember, I'm not separate. I'm not separate. I'm not separate from all life. I'm not separate from all love. I'm not separate from all power. I'm not separate from all joy. I'm not separate from all life. I'm not separate. For a minute, I'm just going to think about that. I'm going to have that in my awareness. Now, when you use that as your problem-solving approach, then when you come back from that focus, when you come back from that because you have to deal with the world, you find that your problems have been answered for you. You find that, oh, there the answer was all along. Oh, I didn't even have a problem. That's the ultimate problem-solving approach. It's also the ultimate path back to that home that your soul longs for, that your soul is nostalgic for. We think it's maybe our childhood home or something about our childhood past that we have that nostalgic feeling for, but it's really that we're really homesick. We really miss home. We really miss home, where we came from. And where we came from was heaven. And what is heaven? An awareness of perfect oneness. Wow. Any questions or comments on that?
Yeah. So the realization of heaven or oneness, can that come in meditation or when you're in the world and doing whatever you're doing?
Yes.
Because I think of that monk Thomas Merton that had that experience at, I don't know if it was Louisville or he was at the corner of, I think, 7th and Walnut, wherever he was.
Yes.
He had that.
Yes, thank you for asking that, because that ties us back to the first sentence, because the first sentence tells us how to practice it. Notice it didn't say, you must go into meditation, you must have the crystal healing bowls and some nice music, and some incense, and go away from the world. It actually said, in the first sentence, practicing the realization that there's nothing outside of you. So it really just told us in the first sentence, so you could be driving your car going, there's nothing outside of me. Not all these cars passing me, not outside me. That billboard, not outside me. Whatever's happening around that I hear about in the world, not outside of me. This person sitting next to me in the car, not outside of me. So isn't that nice? The Course in Miracles is always saying that you don't need to go away from the world for heaven. All it requires is a realization of what is true. What's true now, what's always true, what's true whether you're in traffic or whether you're in a meditation retreat. You know, it's a realization of what's true now. That is what enables heaven or the real world to be restored to you. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do anything except realize something. Realize something. That means take a truth and apply it to whatever you're experiencing. That's a good question. Thank you.
So you don't necessarily stay in that state, though. You just have that realization.
Exactly. You choose the realization because it is a choice. And then what happens is you notice that your experience is more joyful, more abundant, more safe, more happy, more loving. You choose the awareness, and then the real world, the loving world, is restored to you. So I'm driving in the car. I choose that awareness. I practice it. There's nothing outside of me. There's nothing outside of me. The next thing I know, I'm having a really good day. I'm having a really good time. I don't have to do anything except choose to have an awareness. Choose to practice the truth. You know, so the Course says you're going to need your learning most in the world. You know, so great question. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other questions about, well, how do you practice that? Or
Well, your example of being in a car is actually interesting to me, because being in a car for me frequently is like I'm even further removed from everything else. I'm a body, I'm in a body, now I'm in another body.
Yes, I'm in a body, in a car, I'm in a separate body, in a separate car, in a separate lane, full of other separate cars who are flipping me off. Thank you. All right.
So you blow kisses back to them?
Right. It just typically, right. If you're like Billy, you go, which, I always tell them, that's also an attack. But still an improvement. Definitely an improvement. But definitely an improvement.
I didn't hear that part.
Of course. Where was I? Oh yeah. But typically, where was I? I was lost in car hell. But typically, I have noticed when I'm in the car that according to what state of mind I'm in, that's what is happening seemingly to me on the road. And I'm in a hurry, and I'm stressed out, and all of a sudden people cutting me off, and the traffic stops, dead stop, and so now a great thing to do while you're in traffic and you're late and the traffic has stopped and people are cutting you off and they're flipping you off, is to go, there is nothing outside of me. This traffic jam is in my mind. That person who just flipped me off is in my mind. There's nothing outside of me. This is all, wow, this is all in my mind. Interesting. Okay. Now, that would, according to this, enable the happy traffic situation to be restored to you. You don't have to do anything except realize what's already true. May I realize what's true in this situation right now, that I may have peace. May I see the truth that is always true. May I see the truth even in this traffic jam. May I see the truth even while I'm in this interaction with this angry person. May I see the truth even while I am looking at my bank statements. All I have to do is choose the realization of what's true, which is oneness, no separateness, and then peace and joy and abundance and safety is restored to me. How very nice. Oh, that's too easy. I need a harder curriculum, is what the ego says. Ego is like, that's too easy, that's too easy, that's too easy, it can't be that easy. I need a harder curriculum, where I gotta do something, and I gotta figure out what to do, and I gotta change some things, and I gotta change some people, and I gotta change some things in myself, and I gotta get some things from the outside that I don't have right now. That's the curriculum I want, says the ego. The hard way. Alrighty, okay, so now we know something to do. Now we've just heard a peace practice, a conflict resolution practice. Also, we've heard the practice path back home, where we always feel like this. It's so good to be home. Can you imagine feeling like that every day? Can you imagine feeling like that every day? Feels so good to be home. Wow. And of course, as when you are at home and you know it and you have the peace of it, why would you go anywhere else? Why would you feel the need to go anywhere else? But there's a way to experience life like that. There's a way to experience your everyday life the same way you would if you were in the ultimate vacation in paradise, your ultimate favorite place that for you looks like paradise. There's a way to experience your everyday life like that, according to this.
One last question on this. When you say everything is in my mind, are you talking about our true self or our false self mind, or which mind are we talking about?
The mind that has both belief systems in it. The mind that is choosing still to listen to two voices.
Okay.
One mind, one choice to listen to two voices, one after another. Hence the split mind. So here, what's a split mind? Well, I am still trying to follow two masters. I'm still listening to two voices. Sometimes I'm listening to the voice for fear, and sometimes I'm listening to the voice for love. I'm not only listening to one voice, I listen to two. And that's why I'm in conflict. And that's why there seems to be some conflict and some chaos in my life. That's why sometimes it looks like I'm kind of bipolar or schizophrenic. At least that's what my friends tell me. Because I'm listening to two voices. You know, why should we be so surprised that the people in our life are seemingly bipolar and schizophrenic themselves? And one day they're loving, and the next day they're angry, and the next day they're loving, and the next day they're afraid. Why are we so surprised and offended when people are inconsistent in their behavior and their attitude? Why? Why are we like, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Why are we so offended by that? You know, everybody is still listening to two voices, and that's why they have conflict, and that's why they're inconsistent, and that's why they bring chaos with them wherever they go. And that's why we have chaos wherever we go, because we have a split mind. We're ping-ponging back and forth between two voices. Now, the teacher of the course, the voice of the course, tells us early on, I'm just like you, you're just like me, because we are created by the same creator, we are the same, we are spirit, we are siblings. The only difference between us, says the voice of the course, the only difference between us, says this voice, is I learned how to listen to only one voice. That's all. And so this voice tells us, if you would like to experience what I did and do the things that I did and have the power to heal, just by looking at somebody, then you too may want to learn how to listen to only one voice, so that your mind is focused, so that your mind is integrated, so that your mind is healed. And that's what A Course in Miracles is about. Learning how to listen to only one voice, even while you still have a choice, or even while you still have the illusion of a choice. All right, so what else does it say? Then it says, what could love give except knowledge of love itself? What could God give but knowledge of himself? What does God give us? Knowledge of himself. God says, I'm going to give you a gift. I only give one gift, and it's I want you to know me. I want you to know me. I want you to know me. I want you to know what I am. I want you to know how much I love you. I want you to know what I've given you. I want you to know what I am, because it's the same thing you are. You're a creator. You're only love. You're everywhere. You are immortal. You are eternal. That's all God gives to us. I just want to give you myself, which is you. Okay? Then it says, the belief that you could give and get something besides love, which means something outside yourself, has cost you the awareness of heaven, which is also the loss of your identity. Okay. What caused me to lose my identity? What caused me to lose all my peace? What caused me to lose all my power, all my abundance, all my love, all my joy? What caused me to lose the sense of my own identity? It was the belief that I could give and get something from outside of me. That's where the ego came from. There's something that's not in me, and I gotta get it. And I think you hid it in your body. You better give it back. In other words, I love you. Let's be in a relationship. AKA, I love you. Let's be in a relationship. Okay. That's what caused the loss of our identity and the loss of heaven. Heaven is our identity, by the way. Is what? The belief that I could give and get something from outside myself. There's something that ain't in me. Something's missing in me. I'm missing something. I got a missing piece. I got a missing something from inside. And it's out there somewhere, and I gotta go figure out where it is, who stole it, and put it in their body as the perfect place to hide it from me. And then I gotta go convince them to give it back to me. Right, okay? And then when I do that, then I'll know that they love me. And I'll say we're in a relationship. Okay, that is what caused the loss of identity and the loss of heaven. Wow. So, we could also say this. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm depressed. Oh, that means that I think that there's something missing in me that I gotta go and look outside of myself and find it and get it. There's something I need to get from outside of me to put inside of me so I can feel better. That is what the conflict and the upset, the depression and the anger really is about. I believe that there's something that I can get from the outside that I don't have on the inside, like love or power or peace or joy or abundance. Wow. So I love that. It says, so the belief that you could give and get something else, meaning something outside yourself, has cost you the awareness of the heaven of the situation and the loss of your identity. And guess what? If you didn't think that was enough, if you didn't think that was strange enough, you've done a stranger thing than you even yet realize. I've done something stranger than that. It's this. You've also displaced your guilt to your bodies from your minds. Ew. Great! But have a nice day. So not only have I lost my identity and lost heaven on earth because I thought there was something that I could get from outside of myself and put it on my inside, but I also did this. I displaced the guilt that was in my mind onto my body. I felt guilt or shame in my mind. Anybody ever experienced guilt or shame in their mind? And then we displace it to our bodies.
Could that word be replaced by projected
Absolutely.
Or bodies?
I think it is the same. Absolutely. So I feel separateness, I feel unworthiness, I feel a valuelessness, I feel inadequate, I feel shame, guilt within my mind because I think I'm somehow inadequate or alone. And instead of going, oh, I feel shame, I feel guilt, I feel unworthy in my mind, I didn't say that, I just projected it onto my body. And then I look at my body and I go, ew, I wish my body looked different. I wish I had a different body.
Or we eat. Or
Yes,
take drugs,
exactly. Or we punish the body, or we seek for pleasure with the body, we seek for pain through the body, then we seek for pleasure through the body, we seek to, that's basically, that basically covers it. You displace the shame and the inadequacy and the valuelessness from your mind, you project it onto your body, and then the Course says you punish your body, or you exalt your body to compensate for that. You punish it or you exalt it after you've projected your guilt, your shame, your inadequacy onto your body. So now it's all about the body. You punishing the body or worshiping the body. Punishing the body, once you've displaced the shame and the inadequacy in your mind onto your body, that's the only two things left you could be doing to your body, with your body. Either exalting it, worshiping it, oh, I'll just change my body and I'll get love. Or punishing your body through all the many ways that we do that. You eat crap, whatever. There's so many ways to punish the body. We're real good at that. We got that part down. We got the exaltation of the body, the worship of the body, and the punishing of the body. We got that down. We're real good at that. Wow. And he says, that's an even stranger thing than believing that there's something outside of you that if you could just get it and put it inside of you, that you'd be complete. That's the even stranger thing that we've done. Great. No wonder. That explains a lot about life on earth. Okay. And life inside a body. All right. Then it says, but a body cannot be guilty. A body cannot be inadequate. A body cannot be shameful. A body cannot be unworthy. A body cannot be love. A body cannot be guilty. Why? Because a body can do nothing of itself. Yet you who think you hate your bodies, you deceive yourselves. You really hate your minds. Why? Because guilt has entered into your minds. And that's why your minds are trying to remain separate, which your minds cannot do. Okay. Now this is really important stuff relative to healing your experience of your body and having an experience in a body that's peaceful. Whether that's having a peaceful experience in the body in a relationship, or having a peace in your body relative to your health, or whatever. The reason that our bodies suffer, according to A Course in Miracles, is because we've taken the guilt, the shame, the inadequacy, the unworthiness in our mind, and we've projected it onto the body, thinking if only I can get something from my body, or change my body, or get somebody from my body, I'll be happy. If I can get something outside me, put it in my body, I'll be happy. That, he says, that is why the body suffers, gets sick, and dies. I know. Ugh. Oi. Right? So he says, so this is very important. The reason the body gets sick and suffers is because we've deceived ourselves. We think we hate our bodies, but we really hate our minds. I may look at my body and go, God, if only my body had more money, or only if my body was more beautiful, or only if my body was bigger or littler, or only if my body was healthier. But that's not what's wrong. I don't hate my body. I hate my mind. That guilt, and the reason I hate my mind is because guilt has entered into it. Shame has entered into my mind, and I didn't say, no, thank you. Shame was offered to me, probably as a child, and I didn't know enough to go, no, thank you, but no, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. Shame has entered my mind, a feeling of inadequacy, unworthiness, unlovableness. Something's wrong with me. I'm not sure what it is, but my mom and dad told me something was wrong with me, and my teachers told me something was wrong with me, and society told me that something was wrong with me, and so guilt and shame has entered my mind. And instead of going, oh my God, oh, that hurts, that doesn't feel good, I took that shame and that guilt and I displaced it onto my body. And now I'm deceiving myself. And now I hate my body. Now my body's not enough of this, and it's not enough of that, and you've only had this. Or I'm worshiping the body. I'm worshiping someone else's body, or I'm worshiping my body. But it's all about the body. Wow. Which creates what? Pain and sickness in the body. You know, whether you punish your body or you worship your body has the same result. Pleasure and pain. Which, of course, in Miracles says is the same thing. Which is pretty radical. Of course, in Miracles says pain and pleasure, same thing. It's just different side of the same coin. Wow.
So, it seems to me in listening to this that our rejection of the guilt that's in our mind can go in two directions. We can either attack our bodies by projecting that guilt and shame onto them.
Yes.
Or the other way we do it is project it onto somebody else.
That's exactly right.
The attack that's always going on.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
But they're really the same thing. They're just being pointed in seemingly different directions.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's the same thing. You're either projecting out, there's something outside of me that is outside of me that I need to get and put inside of me to fill the hole, or my body, there's something wrong with it, it's not enough, it's inadequate, or it's worship, I should worship it, and then we attack the body. So we either attack, project outward, or the body. Wow.
But taking a step back from the personal, seemingly individual level, what I took from it when I first read this, about allowing guilt to enter your mind,
Yes.
was the guilt we experienced when we believe we separated from ourselves from
that's
God in
right.
the first place.
That's right. That's what really comes from. That's the real source. I mentioned the childhood messages, but the original place is of Course in Miracles says when we ran away from home, when we said, screw you, God, I'm out of here, I don't need you. You know, the Course says we don't remember that. That's way, 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 way beyond our memory capacity of the body.
Wouldn't that be the real meaning of like the Garden of Eden story?
Yes, and the Course does say that the real Garden of Eden was a state of no lack, no need. And heaven, a state of mind of no lack, no need. Now, and what is a state of mind of no lack and no need? It's this: there's nothing outside of me. Because not only does that mean whatever I see is not outside of me, it also means that the universe is not outside of me. Now, if the universe is inside of me, meaning not outside of me, then how could lack be real for me? The whole universe is inside of me, including God. So how could that be possible that I don't have enough of something I need? So, heaven, the Garden of Eden, a state of mind of no lack, no need. State of mind, no lack, no need, that means nothing, there is nothing outside of me, including the entire universe, that is ever regenerating. The nature of the universe is eternal. It's always generating. There's no lack in the universe. You know, it just expands and expands and expands and expands eternally, right? Isn't that the nature of the universe? Okay, right? Okay. Well, what if that universe that's always expanding is inside of you? Okay. Well, if it is, then how could it be that there's some kind of lack in you? The whole universe and the creator of the universe is in you, but you don't have enough money? Or you're lonely because you don't have a date on Saturday night? You know, right? So that's why he's saying heaven is the awareness that there's nothing outside of you, including the whole universe, in which there is ever expanding, eternal, no lack. Wow. Certainly no lack of power in the universe. Wow. Deep thoughts.
And then there's the concept that you are just this little speck right here on this little tiny planet that's in this tiny little solar system, that's in this tiny galaxy, that's in, 1 billion of what is out there.
Exactly. It's the same thing. Exactly. If you really saw how vast the universe was, if we had any even concept of it, which you can get when you start studying, cosmology and subatomic physics and quantum physics and things like that, if you had any awareness of that, you would see that the idea that you were just a body and separate was a joke. The total joke that we forgot to laugh at. Right. Absolutely. Now, so I liked what you were saying about the body. So you either have the awareness that there's nothing outside of you, the entire universe exists within you, and so the idea of lack in you is a joke that you forgot to laugh at, a very cruel joke, or you see yourself as a body. You see yourself as a body. And the way that we see ourselves as a body is we say, well, there's something outside of me that I need to get in order to be happy. That's what it means to see yourself as a body. Now, if you think there's something outside of you that your body's got to get for you to be happy, guess how you're going to feel about your body. You're going to hate it. You're gonna hate it. Lack. You always, it's never good enough. It's never enough. You know, I hope I can get somebody to love me through my body. I hope I can get enough money for my body through other people's bodies. I hope somebody will love my body. I hope somebody will want my body. I hope my body will have enough to eat. And, you know, if you see that if you believe there's something outside of you that you need to get through a body in order to be happy in this moment, you're gonna hate your body. Wow. And what do you do when you hate your body? You punish it. You either worship it or punish it, which is the same thing, same results. And then you go, oh, I'm sick. Oh, you look in the mirror and you're like, ew, I'm not gonna look in the mirror anymore. I'm taking all the mirrors out of my house. That's what happens. And so, as you see, not only is the realization that there's nothing outside of you the way to experience heaven where you're at right now, but it's also the way to have a peaceful experience in your body. How about that? How about that for a change? Being inside this body, feels fabulous all the time. How about that? Wouldn't that be a nice change of pace? Feeling great in your body. Nice. Instead of like, oh, dragging this thing around. God, high maintenance. Sometimes I think about my body and I'm like, curse. My body is so high maintenance. Have you ever noticed? The Course asks us to ask this question. What plans do you make during the day that don't involve the body's protection or pride or pleasure? The Course dares us to ask ourselves that question. God, please don't make me ask a question. Please don't make me answer that question. What plans do you make during the day that does not involve your body's protection, pride, or pleasure during the day?
We're just like taking care of it all, babysitting it all.
All the time.
Constant.
A constant
Need
maintenance. Oops, time to eat, time to sleep. You know, I got a countertop full of supplements. Oh my God, what would happen if I didn't take my supplements one day? You know,
What about
I'd
laughing?
be crawling on the floor. What'd you say?
What about laughing?
That's yeah. To me, that's maintenance not of the body. That's maintenance of the soul, the spirit, which is good for the body.
Right, which
Yeah.
is a body function.
Yeah.
And-
But
and
it starts in the mind.
Yeah,
But it starts in the mind.
from a thought.
Yeah. So if
And it has a body vibration to it.
that's true, and it raises laughter raises the frequency and the vibration of the body.
But you're not consciously thinking, because if you're consciously thinking that you're gonna laugh and it's gonna help your body, it ain't funny.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Exactly. Remember, the Course in Miracles says, you know, how did this happen? That we went from perfect oneness, heaven. That's all there was, perfect oneness, no separation, no lack, no need, to this. How did that happen? How did that happen? And of course, the Miracle says, yeah, well, you know, create tiny mad idea, cross the mind of God's one creation that we forgot to laugh at. We forgot to laugh. So, the Course in Miracles says, you want to know how the world is going to end? You want to know how the world is going to end? Remember how we always hear, Judgment Day, Judgment Day. That's how the word is, Judgment Day. It's going to end terribly, right? We learned. Of course, Miracle says, you want to know how the world ends? Well, here's how it ends. In laughter. Isn't that great, James?
Yeah.
Well, if the world ends in laughter, that also means that your problem ends in laughter. Your sickness ends in laughter. Your lack of money, your lack of abundance ends in laughter too. Now, when you see the fact, you realize that the whole universe exists in you, That means that everything in the universe which there is no limits, your mind can't even conceive of how big the universe, how vast the universe is, and you realize that that's all in you, then you will laugh at your teeny tiny little problems. Oh, I'm so lonely. I don't have enough money. Nothing fits me right. Like, okay, well, that whole universe exists in me, but I'm worried because I don't have anything to wear today. Okay, that's when your problems start to become funny. When you get that perspective, the perspective of the fact that there is nothing outside of you, that means the whole universe is inside of you. Now your problems become funny. Now your problems end. Your lack ends. Your loneliness ends. Your sickness and pain ends. Nice. Okay, so what's next? As if that wasn't enough. Like, where do you go from there? Okay. First you look at your watch and you see how much time you have. Well, it's 1:45, so why don't we stop here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stop here and do our financial expression of appreciation. Thank you for your financial expressions of appreciation. I really appreciate that, and the Miracle Center appreciates that too. And thank you guys for watching out there through your computers or your smartphones. Awesome, I will. Just a couple announcements and then we'll do the integration meditation. I am traveling to New York tomorrow morning, so I will not be here next Monday, but Jim here, our very able and capable miracle teacher, will be facilitating. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Jim, who kept my class going when I did my 3-month maternal leave right after I had a baby. Thank you for that. But I will be back the following Monday, which is August 1st. Okay. I'm also starting 2 new classes here at the Miracle Center, starting Wednesday, August 10th. And the 2 new classes are Transcendental Miracle Meditation. So it's a Course in Miracles meditation class. So we're learning how to meditate through the directions and instructions of A Course in Miracles. So that's how I learned to meditate. And so we'll be using these lessons and ideas of how to meditate. Okay. Also, the other class, same night, is the Urantia class. So the Urantia material, the Urantia book, another super cosmic revelation that was channeled like the Course that I've been studying for at least 25 years that I just love. So I'll be doing that. And those 2 classes start Wednesday, August 10th. They will start at, first, will be the Urantia class first at 6:30 to 7:15. There'll be a 15-minute break for people to leave and people to arrive. And then we'll do the Transcendental Miracle Meditation class.
It's only 45 minutes.
Oh, no,
Until 9.
sorry. And then the first one goes 6:30 to 7:15. The second one goes from 7:30 to 9. 7:30, 8:30, 9. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first one's only 45 minutes.
No, the first one is
Because
an
you ran
hour.
short. No, it's only 45 minutes.
You said 6:30 to 7.
You
Oh,
did.
I'm sorry. Thank you. 6 o'clock. It goes 6 to 7:15.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing those numbers. So the Urantia class goes from 6 to 7:15. The Transcendental Miracle Meditation goes from 7:30 to 9. Okay, there's a 15-minute break in there for people to come and go. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's long, so that you don't have to do both. Is that what you're?
No,
Oh.
I before you were saying it was only from 6:30 to 7:15. I was like, oh, your ranch is gonna get ripped off.
Yeah, oh, I see, I see.
I was like, that's
You
pretty
still had
short.
that sad look on your
I
face.
was like, oh,
And I was
good,
like,
I'm so
oh,
glad you
she's sad.
changed it, because originally you said 6 a long time ago.
Yes, I did, and
But you
so,
forgot.
what'd you say?
It's gonna be in there.
It's gonna be,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure, whichever,
Right, meditation would be good in there, right?
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be there where you could be more comfortable.
absolutely. If it's
This
available,
chair.
we'll do it in the library. Yes, good point, absolutely.
How do you spell that?
Which
The
one? The
Urantia?
Urantia?
Okay.
And it is amazing. I've been studying it for about 3 to 5 years, and I tell you, I can't wait till start talking about it. So I'm just saying.
Yes, you and
It's
I have been talking about
something
doing a class forever.
So interesting that I love it.
They call it, this is what people refer to it as, which I find very interesting. They call it the fifth revelation. And I'm not sure why they call it that, but it's like the fifth epical revelation to the world. So it's like this huge, revelation to humanity, and it's one of the most cosmic, mind-expanding, mind-bending things I've ever looked at. It makes the course look like a kindergarten lesson.
Wow.
I swear. I mean, you think the course is dense. If you think the course is like, woo, you may not want to come, but it makes the Course in Miracles look like a kindergarten lesson, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that's what, for me, that's what it makes the Course in Miracles look like. You read one sentence, you're like, what? So anyway, but it should be a lot of fun. It's cheaper and less demanding on the body than acid, and so you want to come blow your mind without having to do damage to your body, or it's cheaper also. There's a good way to do it. You can call it the Urantia.
It's very encouraging too. I think it's just
It is
amazingly cool.
It's
I don't know what it
incredibly
is.
empowering
It's-
and healing and inspiring.
It is.
Super inspiring.
Parts of it are hard to understand. I don't know
Absolutely.
where you're going to start, but
Well,
They sell it at Walmart.
no, do
No.
they? No way.
It's on the Walmart website.
Walmart's got it.
Well, maybe not.
Now that's a revelation.
Probably not in the store.
They don't have it in the store.
So you probably have to do it
When I saw
online,
your
but
ranch
still.
in Walmart, I think I would take a picture of it.
Well, that's
Facebook
pretty
for
cool.
sure.
What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, now, from my favorite way to read the Urantia is, I just have an electronic version. Otherwise, you're gonna carry around a book like this.
Well, it's no
That's
bigger
better than the original
Of course.
version, which was like this, and it weighed like 20 pounds.
Oh my God.
Oh,
But it's like the
You can lift
course
weights
size.
with the
now.
original version of Urantia.
It's the course size now. I mean,
Now
you
it
get
is.
I
Now it
ordered
is.
it online
Now
years
it is.
ago.
who wrote it?
It was
That's
it's channeled.
Good question.
It's channeled.
Somebody
It was channeled.
phenomenal because
I was just on YouTube listening to
That's
some of the history of the Urantia book, and it's fascinating.
So, how are you going to proceed with that? Are you going to start at the beginning and go?
No, I'm not, because it's too vast, it's too
mind-boggling.
big.
It's so hard.
I am going to choose some of my favorite sections.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just go from there, just have some fun with it, So,
Is
That'll
it
be
like
good.
the course in that a lot of the messages consistently and consistent and the same, it's just delivered in different,
Maybe.
yeah,
or does it build on itself?
Urantia is the name of Earth in the greater galactic cosmic neighborhood. Okay, they don't say Earth; they call the other inhabited
Urantia.
planets call us
Urantia.
Urantia,
It's the cosmic history of Earth.
and it's the history of Earth from the cosmic perspective, not from the Earthling perspective, from the cosmic
Wow.
intergalactic perspective. It's the history of Earth from intergalactic groups
They
of
come
beings.
down with the
Okay, is that
messages.
far enough out? Is that far out enough
But
for
once you
everybody?
started, it's not, doesn't seem that far once you're into it.
You might want to say
It's
there's
really
a lot
cool.
of-
I can't explain it. But once you started, it doesn't seem as
So
far out as
yes.
sounds like it's gonna start
Yes.
out to be.
The good news, one of my favorite messages from your rancha is there is a myriad of celestial beings who are present and available for helping the earth to evolve and to save itself and to evolve, you know, as other planets and systems
Have already done.
have already done, that are billions of years evolved ahead of us.
Amazing.
And so there's all these, like, so different, each section of the book comes from these different galactic celestial beings messengers who are here to help us evolve so that we can experience heaven on earth instead of blowing ourselves up.
And you might want to say that there's a significant portion of the life and times
Yes.
of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that was the part I studied for 20 plus years, and then went in. So I'm going to do some from that
And
too.
he's a real guy.
He's a real guy, let me tell you.
He's got thoughts just like Jim does.
Yeah, real similar actually. Anyway, so that's my little thumbnail sketch of your rancha. It's not for everybody, obviously, but you know, I want to learn it more, so got to teach it. You know, you want to learn something, you got to teach it. You want to be healed, you got to heal.
Yeah.
Got to learn how to heal. If you want to heal, you want to learn something, you got to teach it. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm up here. All right, so now we're going to do our integration meditation. And, come on, phone. Did my phone die? Is that possible?
Yeah,
It did? It really did.
What did?
My phone, it was, you know, it was not, anyway, okay.
I was doing
That's
the music too.
Okay. It's weird, it wasn't low. Wonderful to see you again. See you in a few weeks. I know you do. You got some spiritual talents. I know you do. Okay. All right. So here we go. We are going to. Hey, Julie, will you shut the door while you're out there?
This door?
Yes, because we're going to do our integration meditation. All right. We are going to meditate in silence. Is that all right? Okay. All right. Okay, for 2 minutes, we're going to do a little bit of integration meditation. So I want you to close your eyes and take a breath. And just enjoy the silence. Oh, silence. Oh. Breathe it in. All right. First, I want you to just tune into how you feel right now, having heard these ideas. How do you feel right now? Beautiful. All right. I want you to bring to your awareness a situation recently where there was not peace, where there was conflict, where there was pain, sickness, a perception of lack or loss. And I want you to bring that situation and the people involved in that situation, I want you to bring them to your awareness. I want you to look at them, look at that situation. And I want you to look at this situation, and I want you to look at the story you told yourself about how what they were doing and what was happening was something outside of you. That it was happening outside of you. Where the people involved were doing something from outside of you to you. notice the story you were telling yourself about how something was happening outside of you and happening to you. Take note of the story that you were telling yourself. Beautiful. Now take note of how that felt. That story you were telling yourself about what was happening outside of you and to you. How did that feel? Did that feel good? How did it feel? Beautiful. Now I want you to imagine yourself again in this situation or relationship. And I want you to now, seeing yourself in this situation again, I want you to tell yourself this. This is not outside of me. This is not happening outside of me. There is nothing outside of me. This person is not outside of me. This event is not outside of me. This relationship is not outside of me. And take a breath. Now, bringing your awareness within you, let's tell ourselves the truth. There's nothing outside of me. I want you to tell yourself the truth and tell yourself, love is not outside of me. The peace I want is not outside of me. The companionship I want is not outside of me. The joy I need is not outside of me. The abundance that I desire is not outside of me. The peace that I desire is not outside of me. The worth and the value that I desire to know, the worth and the value that I desire to experience is not outside of me. Everything I want is inside of me. The universe itself is inside of me. Because I remain as love created me, one with the universe. And now let's do the practice of what we heard in the section where we talk about, where it said that heaven, which means complete fulfillment, heaven, a state of mind of no need, no lack, perfect fulfillment. Heaven is an awareness of perfect oneness. Feeling full, feeling fulfilled completely right now comes from an awareness of perfect oneness. No separation, one life, one love, one self, one creation, the awareness of perfect oneness is my perfect fulfillment right now. So let's go ahead and practice that awareness for 1 minute. Awareness of perfect oneness. And just breathe it in. One life, one love, one self, one creation, one creator, one soul, one spirit, one universe, one joy. For just a moment, let your mind be perfectly unified in one complete awareness, one complete thought, one. Beautiful. Then take a breath. Take a breath, bring your awareness back to the ground, back to your body, back to the illusion of separateness. But returning back to the illusion of separateness with the remembrance of the fact of oneness. And to that we say amen. Amen. All right, you onelings. Thank you for being here.